When I first created the NanoMouse, my sole goal was to teach students to build and program robots to solve a maze. Then I became a middle school teacher. I realized I had to build sturdier robots that could withstand use by several students every year. I also discovered that middle school students need more time exploring and playing with the basics, such as how to make a robot move. So I designed a new robot, the Logo Mouse. Equipped with a hole in the center for a marker, the Logo Mouse allows users to program their robot to draw. You may have already created functions that allow your robot to move forward and turn in place. If so, don't delete them. You won't see them in this video, but you will need them later. Just add the function we are about to create below the functions you have already made, or directly above the setup. Now it's time to program. Whenever I want to make a robot draw something cool, I add a move function. So I'm going to type void move with parentheses, and then I'm going to hit enter and create an opening curly brace. When I hit enter again, it's going to automatically create a closing curly brace. I'm going to put a little space between my move function and the setup just to show that they're two separate things. Then, in between the parentheses for my move function, I'm going to put two arguments, and these are going to have to be integers because it's possible for them to be negative. So I'm going to say left motor and right motor. Then inside of my move function, I'm going to type left servo dot right microseconds, and then the stop signal, the center position or the center speed for the servo, minus the left motor power that I'm going to supply to it through this argument right here. Now if you're using the parallax motors, this would be a plus sign, but if you're using the SM4303R servos, most of those are reversed, so you're probably going to have to use a minus sign. Next, type right servo dot right microseconds, and then again the stop signal, and then I'm going to put a plus here and then right motor. I put a plus because it needs to be opposite of whatever my left motor was. To figure out what you need here, it's going to be the same as your forward function if you've already created one of those. Otherwise, down in the loop, we can actually just tell our robot that we want it to move, and I'm going to say move. If I'm using the SMS4303R servos, they have a range of plus or minus 500, so I could put 500, comma 500. If I'm using the parallax servos, then they only have a range of plus or minus 200, so you'd have to have 200, comma 200. This should make my robot go forward. If it doesn't make my robot go forward, if instead it makes it go backwards, then you need to reverse these signs right here. So now that we have a move function created, and hopefully you've tested it by running it, by calling it once and running it and seeing which direction your robot moves, we can do some pretty cool designs with just a little bit of code. For example, if I make it move forward, and then let's say keep it that way for about a second. So we'll make it move forward for a second or 1,000 milliseconds. And then I say move again, but this time I don't move both motors. I keep one motor still while I make the other motor move. And then I keep it that way for, let's say, I'm going to say 1,700 milliseconds. If I run this code, it's going to make my robot draw an interesting design. To test out your code, put your robot on some butcher paper, put a marker in the middle, turn it on, and push the button to run it. Challenge yourself. Have some fun. See what you can draw. I made my robot draw a spiral. What can you make your robot do?